Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to a couple of hours of Stronghold Crusader 2 here over on the GOG.com Twitch channel. I am Quill18. If you don't know who I am, you can usually find me at youtube.com/Quill18 or even twitch.tv/Quill18. If you guys are watching from my channel, do note I am hosting the GOG.com channel over there, but I won't be watching my channel's chat. I'll be watching the GOG.com chat. So if you want to say something that I'll notice, make sure that you are saying it in the actual GOG.com chat. How's the volume going on here? Hopefully the music is not too loud for everyone. Hopefully it's nicely balanced. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know. And we're gonna get started. So Stronghold Crusader 2 is it's a game in like a long line of Stronghold titles, and there's two branches to it. There's the sort of pure Stronghold line, which is a lot of like castle building, economy kind of stuff, with some combat, you know, admittedly. But I feel like the main Stronghold line is a little bit more geared towards the economy. And then Crusader, Stronghold Crusader, and Crusader 2 involves more of the sort of combat, sieging another enemy castle while defending your own castle. More of a real-time strategy, combat-y kind of game in there. There are two factions effectively in Stronghold Crusader 2, but they are basically just mirror images of one versus the other. So we're going to be playing a bit, but also I have Tony that I'm about to give a call to, who is a developer for, I believe Tony was primarily responsible for getting Stronghold Crusader 2 ready to launch on GOG.com. We'll get some of those details over there, and we're also going to talk about some of the other Stronghold titles that are going to be coming out soon. So I'm going to give Tony a ring right now, and once we make sure that all the volume and everything is hunky-dory, what we're going to do is I'm going to try to play while also talk, which is not entirely my strong point, but we're going to see what we can do. So let me give Tony a call over here, and I'm going to bring the music down, I think, just a notch, because otherwise it might be a little hard. Hello, Tony.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Excellent. So, Tony, who do you actually work for?
Well, I work for Firefly Studios.
Okay.
And I'm in the U.S. office. We have a couple of offices here and there. We actually have a lot of people spread throughout the world. We have a lot of community managers who just are on their own in other countries, and we have throughout Europe, and we have our main office in London and our other main office in the States, and that's where I am. Excellent.
Now, you are a programmer primarily? Would that be accurate?
Yeah, I was one of the co-leads on Crusader 2, and porting it to GOG, to Galaxy, was pretty much all me.
Wow. Ballpark figure, how many people would be worked on Crusader 2? I mean, it's hard to tell because a lot of times there's a lot of different jobs, but, you know, programmers, artists, that sort of thing, designers. Ballpark.
Ballpark, I would say maybe about 10 people full-time at various times. And only several programmers, if you kind of distribute it throughout the time that we worked on it. And if you count our work on prior engines that kind of fed into this game. And then we had several artists, a couple of 3D guys, one main 2D guy, and then we had our designers and producers, and not terribly huge team. We're pretty indie, actually.
Yeah, that's very small for a modern game that's seeing a relatively big release. You know, you've got one-man indie studios, but those tend to be very limited in scope games. And this is certainly a little bit bigger than that, and that's really small. I don't think people realize how small of a group that is.
Yeah, definitely. Our you know, if you look at similar scoped games, like especially real-time strategy games, just the inherent complexity means you have tons more people on it, and generally, you know, the number of bugs that you know, come up in this kind of complexity can be a full-time job by any measure.
Right. Now, what I don't understand is what was the difficulty? What was work involved in getting it ported over to GOG Galaxy? Like, was there certain things that you had to remove and replace, or was it about supporting features in Galaxy?
Basically, we took our game as it was, and we looked at those things that Galaxy had implemented that we could bring over to kind of just make the game work as well as possible, and take advantage of everything that they had done to provide the kind of modern features that we had originally just relied on Steam for. So, for example, they had achievements. They're just getting that going as we did our port. and they had full multiplayer matchmaking and peer-to-peer game support. So we basically took the way we were using the Steam API, and because the Galaxy API is very well written and very analogous to the Steam API, we were able to port it over in a pretty straightforward way, and actually set it up so that we can maintain both ports in parallel now. It actually works quite well. We were pretty impressed.
Right, so normally if you would do something with Steamworks or especially multiplayer, then you really have to be on Steam and with the Steam friends to get that to work. And so now you've got it working through GOG Galaxy instead, which is nice because people prefer one over the other.
Yeah, exactly. We've very much enjoyed GOG even before Galaxy because of the kinds of games that we could get our hands on that you couldn't find anywhere else. DOSBox wrapped titles that you can actually legally buy again, which is awesome. So the fact that we could actually bring a lot of the things that we thought would never escape the Steam ecosystem necessarily out to other platforms has been pretty awesome.
Now, talking about Stronghold Crusader 2 by itself, you were one of the people developing the game. Like, what draws you to Stronghold and to Crusader in particular, and what aspects of the games you like?
I think from when I first played the Stronghold series at all, which was before I was a game developer, of course, because I'm a bit younger than my bosses, but the main thing that kind of intrigued me was I definitely always liked the medieval genre, and I really liked the castle building elements and the fact that it was the particular blend of simulation and warfare, and that just due to the numbers of troops, you kind of get into big time army style simulation, and at the same time you have this ability to change the building scape and build things like walls and actually historically inspired, let's say, castles, with your layouts and that kind of thing, in ways that a lot of games, haven't even had walls and haven't had the kind of castle simulation aspects.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think a lot of people like building things up a bit, which is one of the reasons, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I tend to lean a little bit more towards the sort of classic just Stronghold as opposed to Crusader, because Stronghold is a little bit more sort of build, and Crusader is a little bit more focused on the fighting. And the fighting is interesting because there's like, what, a dozen different unit types and a bunch of different siege stuff, so there's a lot of opportunity there. But I'm kind of a slow guy, especially as I age. I think it becomes more and more of a thing.
Yeah, we definitely have very different cohorts of players. Some players like the whole package, and some players really like the simulation end of things, and some players really like the closer to straight up real-time strategy aspects where the economy kind of gets out of the way. We enjoy all aspects, which is what we try to kind of encompass them with the different game modes like Sandbox, kind of letting you go wild with the simulation end if you like that, and then the multiplayer, which tends to be building a solid economy and then conducting your military effectively on top of that. But certainly the balance on Crusader is towards the military end of things, and on the traditional Stronghold line, as you mentioned, it's towards the economic end of things.
Yeah, now, one of the big things, obviously, with this game is the multiplayer. What kind of online play are you guys seeing? Or do people, is there tournaments? Are there big organizations? I don't know if you've got metrics. Do people prefer just 1v1, or is it team stuff, or AI stomps? You can do that, right? Where you have, like, say, 4 AIs and then 4 humans on another side and then sort of fighting each other?
Yeah, definitely. I actually don't know the metrics, although some of my teammates might. But the basic idea, that we've seen is especially 1v1 matches versus AI. Something that we added in this time around that we were quite fond of is co-op mode, of course, where you can have 2 players controlling the same castle. And although that might seem
I like that.
Yeah, it might not seem that crazy on the surface. I forget. I think we'd seen that in some old game, and we all liked it a lot. And it was basically that you could you can define your own roles as 2 players on a team. So whereas when you're playing 1 player versus an AI, it's just kind of your ability to click on the board and move your troops around and manage your castle at the same time, versus the AI's ability to do multiple things at once, which of course it's probably better at under the hood. So you can actually kind of test your mettle against an AI by taking two co-op players, and one of you maybe conducts the military, maybe one of you runs the econ end of things, or maybe you both lead separate forces at the same time. That kind of thing is kind of fun. More of a, kind of a resource-constrained version of doing the same thing where everybody controls their own team, and kind of the ability to let your friend manage some aspects for you while you're playing.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that, and I think that's starting to become more and more of an explicit feature in a few more RTSs. So certainly we've seen Legacy of the Void, StarCraft 2, add Archon mode as a really explicit mode, and it's always been like, well, that's something we've played in a few different games for a long time now, and like, I'm happy that it's starting to be embraced by the developer community as a more official gameplay mode, because honestly, it's just a blast to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, certainly. As big fans of co-op games, through the years, especially like dating back to Contra on the NES or something like that.
Oh yeah,
it's really nice to see a resurgence of that kind of gameplay after there's a long glut of kind of just you versus the world online, without even teams really.
Yeah, and I think the team play helps to get rid of one of the problems a lot of people experience playing online is something that some people term ladder anxiety. Like, you're worried about going because you might lose, and you'll lose some points, so you're better off just not playing because of the stress, and then it means you're not playing the game as much. And it's, I think, a few games, Heroes of the Storm is a nice example, I think, of a new MOBA that tries to make things a little bit more lightweight and less stressful, I think, while not losing some of its depth. And I think that's really important for games to capture as the sort of gaming community diversifies.
Yeah, definitely.
And
it's
ages.
Nice. Yeah, seriously. I can join you on the being a little older end of things, and kind of seeing this all, change over the years has been really interesting. But certainly, like, one of the things I'm definitely a little more reluctant to play some games if I feel like I could stand to lose something if I'm not on my game that day or something like that.
Yeah, that just becomes incredibly demoralizing. So, no, it's nice to do that. I haven't done any multiplayer in Stronghold Crusader 2. How do you go about finding an opponent? What's the process in multiplayer there?
Well, currently on the Steam or GOG Galaxy builds, you can just start up the game and go into the multiplayer section, and you'll get matchmaking through the appropriate service. So if you're on Steam, you'll get the list of Steam games. If you're on GOG Galaxy, you'll get the list of Galaxy games in progress. And you can either create a server if you want and host a game, or you can join an existing game. So basically it's all facilitated by those services, and so it's very streamlined compared to the hodgepodge of different services various games had to use in the past. These are all very well done, so they just kind of work, which is very nice. So you'll basically just drop into a lobby, and then when you have all the players that you want for a given game and the host has set everything up and everybody is ticked okay, they just launch the game, and then you're in.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, because it is important to be able to find people pretty handily. Oh, I think my siege units are about to get stomped by some enemies here from the Shaw.
He's not our most fearsome lord, but certainly more than a handful for learning the ropes of the game.
Yeah, well, that's it. And what it really emphasizes, I think, the importance of getting your military up and running as quickly as possible. I may have been a little bit too aggressive with my placement here, trying to start the siege too soon, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you don't stand to lose too much on this map, fortunately. This one's pretty forgiving terrain for the player.
Yeah, you can really start quite high up and siege from a high ground. And I don't know what the combat math is like, but it feels that that's pretty effective. I think you get more range on your archers, if nothing else, don't you?
Yep, yeah, you're correct. We have kind of a cool system, actually, that's all based around very specific instructions and iterations from the designers. We kind of come up with stuff like that, and then it's very good if we can have things that influence gameplay very predictably, when possible. So have kind of altitude strata helps, kind of discrete steps of altitude that'll give you a boost of X, sort of situation. So yeah, being up on a hill, you get proportionally more projectile range.
What's the plan?
Yeah, well, and the towers, of course, too, which is the building. Like, I'm not building a castle on this particular map because I did a test run earlier, and I found, like, the important thing was to siege the high ground as quickly as possible, or seize it as quickly as possible, and then try to just establish a nice little bottleneck there while you continue to develop your economy a bit. But the castle building is a fun part of this game. Some of the maps are a lot bigger and a lot more open. This is, of course, the level 1 of the trail, so I think it's a little bit tighter.
Yeah, absolutely. This is as small as the maps get, I think. It's funny because a lot of the comments that we've seen always has been make the maps bigger. And we've always been, obviously, we want the biggest maps we can possibly pull off. If people want to play on that size, we want to have it. And certainly, as most people know, there's a tech limitation to making things a little past a point because you have a lot more calculation to do to make anything happen in a very big map when units are all marching across the board and that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, pathfinding becomes sort of exponential in terms of cost to figure out.
Exactly. Yep. It's really the pathfinding, not so much rendering because we can kind of constrain, how much you can see at a time. Although we do have very generous zoom ability compared to most games of this style, because especially if you hit the alt in the space bar, you'll get that sky view.
Ooh, hey, that's new to me.
Yeah, that was a little easier to get to in Stronghold 3, but we opted to change the key because most people are used to spacebar to jump to notifications.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, anyway, we most games that I can think of, RTSs don't really let you zoom out that crazy. But that said, we've actually been able to put in a larger map size than Crusader 1, I'm pretty sure, and I don't think too many people know that. So, we still get the kind of request like, oh, I wish maps were as big as Crusader 1, but I actually think they are at this point.
Well, some of them certainly feel bigger. I've done some multiplayer in here on some of the 4 and 8 player maps with all the little villages in the middle, and there's some definite space. Like, some people in chat are pointing out that I probably could have sieged the enemy base from my own base on this map. That's how tight it is. And, of course, the U-shape, which would benefit that here. But some of them are quite big. And, yeah, with the extra villages, adds a really interesting dynamic to the game because you can't fortify those villages. You can put units there, but you can't go and build walls. Once you've captured them, holding them can be very costly.
Yeah, we early on in development, I remember we were talking about it. We like the idea in a lot of games where you kind of have resource points that you capture, in RTS games, and you have they produce something, but they're difficult to hold on to, which is kind of the crux of like some games like StarCraft, where you holding onto a mine is important and holding onto resources and that kind of thing, and basically having that same idea, introduced into Stronghold-style gameplay was something we wanted to explore, and so we thought estates were a really good way to do that and kind of have hold the king of the hill kind of situation where you get a stream of resources from any estates you own, and other people would capture them to get those resources instead, or just try to disrupt your supply lines of your caravans coming from those estates.
Oh, my bower's not really producing much for my Fletcher's workshop.
You want to make sure he's getting enough wood to make the bows out of, and that he can reach the armory.
Got plenty of wood. I hope I haven't cut anything off. I don't think so. Maybe it's just taking a little while to get started, because I did just build them.
Oh, yeah.
I like lots of archers.
You need something?
To me, yeah, that's always been an effective Stronghold strategy, is leaning on the projectile guys and putting them safely behind walls or on towers.
Mm-hmm.
How can we help?
Well, in here I'm just poked a wall through his defenses, and my hope is to get my own archers on his wall. And I think they can get there.
Victory will be ours.
Another classic strategy. One of the reasons why we added curtain walls, well, I guess we've had them since the early games, but it's basically, traditional castle design. Of course, you have your walls that can be walked on, but that means they can be captured as well.
Right.
And of course, used against the occupants of the castle. So you get the curtain walls, and of course, those are just barriers.
Ah, I see. Okay, so you can't actually stand on a curtain wall.
Right. was a little trickier to pull off in the original Crusader because you had to kind of build the crenellations independently of the walkable wall parts, and you also had to do it in isometric 2D, so that made it especially challenging, especially just visualizing how the walls actually looked. But obviously, players got very good at it, and many people can blow away anything I could hope to do with that.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I haven't been playing this one online, is because I know for a fact a lot of people will have put in a lot of effort into having some pretty killer strategies and build orders, I suspect. And I bet you there's some really pro-level players for this game. I just want to build a castle.
Yeah, I would get absolutely slaughtered against any decent players who play a lot. Even, as you know, knowing the systems of a game doesn't translate to the ability to use them effectively well together.
Yeah, my APM is not what it used to be. Actions per minute, which has always been one of the deciding factors of, who might be better at a certain game.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you definitively, but I think our game is less APM reliant than a lot of RTSs, because a lot of what matters for us is what units against which other units, and who's taking better advantage of fortification and that kind of thing.
Right, so what counters what as sort of a general rule here? Like, macemen are good against, what, spearmen? Swordsmen?
Yeah, it's actually not all that direct. Macemen being fast, they have a charge ability where if they haven't used it in a little while, they can sprint extra fast. And this is all automatic. It's kind of under the hood, but you'll see them on the icons that appear over their heads. It'll show if their sprint is ready. And some other units have that too, like the Whirling Dervishes and the Sassanid Knights, the mounted spearmen. But basically, the idea there is if they're out of combat for a little while, this ability charges back up, and then they can do an initial burst sprint into combat. And one of the advantages with that kind of stuff is you can get them to the squishy troops pretty fast. So if you need to get past, say, some swordsmen and take out the archers that are shooting you from afar, if you're marching a bunch of troops across and you're meeting other troops on the open field, then they're particularly good at going in after the weaker units. And macemen are a personal favorite too, because they're very fast compared to a number of other units, and they have a lot of versatility in even fighting things like swordsmen or even knights.
Right. And yeah, you can. I've just built my first stable here. I'd forgotten to build one earlier. How does someone actually get on the horse? If they're just nearby, is that it? Well, automatically now?
There are a couple of types of horsemen in this game. Your standard Templar Knights, which are come from the barracks or the Crusader faction ones, have a mount and dismount button, and those get their horses supplied from the stable, just as you supply their armor and their mace from the armory. And then you pay and you recruit a guy, like use a peasant, to get them. Once you have a knight recruited from the barracks, you can tell him to mount up and he'll summon his horse and get on it. And then he'll be much faster. Damage will go to the horse instead of to him until the horse is killed, or you tell him to dismount or go on a wall. And then once he's off the horse, you've delivered a very heavy unit very quickly to whatever fight you're trying to get him to. And that's what makes them very effective, is that these guys, the knights, once you put them down somewhere, they're like a tank. They'll just sit there and soak up damage, especially artillery, artillery fire, like the arrows and crossbow bolts and that kind of thing. Compared to other units, they last a long time. So if you can get them on the enemy's keep, then you have a very effective way to take out their lord.
Okay, yeah. Because on foot, they are very slow.
Yeah,
I guess that's part of the balance.
Yeah, that's part of why there's such ridiculous killing machines once you actually get them to the fight, is that it's hard to get them there. Yeah, and certainly the mount up a bunch of knights on horses and scoot them into the opponent's base tactic is very useful approach. The way to counter that kind of thing is to make sure they don't get past your walls, because knights aren't very good, even mounted at once they hit the wall. They can't, they'll be whittled down unless you brought some siege equipment to bust it open.
Right. I'm trying to build up my military again. I'm a little low on resources now from having expended quite a bit on the first wave, but they should bounce back.
Yeah, that's something our QA guys are really good at, is they tend to build 3 times as many buildings as I do when I'm playing, for example, because they know how to stay on top of the resource needs.
Yeah, I do have a fair bit of military buildings. They're sort of spread out across a couple of different resources. So mostly I'm ended up with a little bit of all the things here. All right, trying to pop out a Templar Knight and see if I can get him to mount up.
Just say the word.
Those are actually swordsmen.
Into the saddle.
Well, this... Oh, yeah, there's a bit of lag here
Oh, right.
between the visual. There we go, I got him.
I
I
just
got him
noticed
mounted
that.
up. Oh, is there no run animation for the horse?
Lord.
Oh, no, there it is.
Onward.
I think just because he was already moving when I told him to mount, I ended up with a slip-slidey horse.
Oh, yeah.
What troubles you, sire? This way.
All right, get it in there. I think we should be able to wrap this guy up
My lord.
in a moment here.
Calculating.
Getting ready for another charge. So, we could also talk about some of the future titles that can be coming here. Because you guys are working on some more stuff here.
Yeah, that's right. We actually we have a few projects going now, which is exciting. Currently, our main thing that we're looking forward to early next year is the port of Stronghold Kingdoms to iOS and Android devices, and kind of a total reworking of the user interface for touch.
Now, Stronghold Kingdoms is your sort of, not an MMO, but it is sort of a massively online kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it's a massively online strategy game, really. Conducted in real time. It takes it runs like a given game world, just runs indefinitely, and
Say the word.
you can take over entire nations and gain ranks in a starting from running a simple village to being the king of a country, and it's all with other people.
When you are king of a country, do you actually rule over other people? Or, like, other human beings, or not?
You have a lot of control over the way resources go around in the world, and that's kind of the crux of things. But generally, the ranks allow you to kind of set the way your region in the world behaves. But you don't actually have direct control over other people. It's kind of it's really just a question of wanting to control an area and having your group of friends or your basically the people you're conspiring with to take over a region to do it. And some people just like to build.
Reposition on the walls.
Yeah, well, again, I like the building part of these games. I started, like, I still remember the original sort of Castles game from Sierra Interactive from way back when.
Oh yeah,
And that was always one of my favorites.
I never actually played that, but I've seen a lot about it, and it looks really cool.
I mean, the first one was pretty rough, very, very low tech. There was a Castles 2 that was also quite good, and to me, Stronghold has just been that continuation of that theme of castle building. And there's really not a whole else out there that can scratch that itch the same way. I mean, there's plenty of RTSs out there, and some that involve some amount of Age of Empires or something. Sometimes you end up building some walls, but it's not a castle. It's not the same.
Reposition on the wall.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we definitely have tried to fill the niche for, and something that we enjoy about these Crusader and other Stronghold games is the actually being able to build a whole perimeter wall to have to apply realistic castle design, to some degree, within the context of gameplay, and kind of have this idea, whereas in something like Warcraft 2, you had those kind of little wall tiles, but there wasn't much to them. And generally in modern RTSs, you find yourself putting farms together to make walls around your base, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of RTSs these days, there was a big movement for a while of doing these RTS games that were really sort of baseless. Right? It was real time and it was strategy, and you were, using your little squad of combat, but to me, that's not the same sort of thing. Like, when I say I want to play an RTS, I want to have a base, and I want to have an economy to worry about. That's really important to me.
Attack on sight.
Yeah, I think one of the
everyone's
things we
got
like.
different preferences.
I think we like this kind of
Engineers
niche
at
too,
your
because it's
service.
sort of having city building, and RTS kind of smeared together to varying extents, depending on which, if we're talking about the Stronghold line or the Crusader line.
Yeah, what I should do, if I recall correctly, when you go into the Sandbox mode, you can spawn people to attack you, right?
Yep. Yeah, we
Yeah.
thought that would be fun.
I think that's what I'm going to do next. I'll try to build up a nice pretty base and then see if I can destroy it. Some of the campaign involves just starting with a fixed army as well, right? Not building a base, but trying to see if you can storm an enemy castle.
Yeah, if you play the story campaigns. So this game has a series of story campaigns and a series of skirmish trails. Skirmish trails is very similar to playing a multiplayer match or a custom skirmish match where it's you versus AI and you have everything in your build tree unlocked, and you basically just have at it with the best you can muster. And those actually have a lot of strategy and kind of deeper puzzle elements to them. If you know the game, you know, as you play, you kind of get better at it. And the designers get pretty sneaky later on in terms of what you kind of have to figure out in order to succeed, you know, in a given skirmish trail. But there's no story there or anything like that. Whereas if you move over to the learning campaigns, those actually have a bit of a story, and they have this thing where it's more of what you'd see in a kind of a quest-style RTS campaign, where you start with certain fixed units, you have certain things that you basically unlock more and more, things that you can build as you go through the missions, that sort of thing.
Okay, I think I'd assume that the trail here was the campaign.
I think this is considered the meat of what Crusader 2 brings to the table in terms of a single-player experience, is that you kind of if you play the skirmish trails, you're going through the most challenging and kind of the biggest chunks of the game and the systems, you know, like seeing all the units and that kind of thing. Whereas in the learning campaign is literally designed to be a much more gradual, smoother introduction.
That's probably what I should have started at. I mean, I seem to be doing okay here, although it is still the first mission.
Yeah, and as an experienced RTS player, I think most people will be able to slot into this just fine once they wrap their head around some concepts. But it's certainly worthwhile to play the story campaign, the learning campaigns, even if you are an experienced player, just because it introduces novel concepts that you wouldn't otherwise know unless you like curling up with a manual and a hot cup of coffee for a couple of hours, you know. There he goes.
Yeah, I think the leader is about to drop. He doesn't want to charge my archers for some reason, and I'm okay for that. Just hanging out.
Considering his decadent lifestyle as a kind of a relaxed poet, you know, he does quite well on the battlefield himself.
Woman, make ready.
Yeah, it's always amazing how many hit points these leaders have. But it's pretty good, because otherwise they could be sniped a little too easily, and it's just game over when you lose your lord, so your lord definitely needs a ton of hit points. And he's a death machine, too.
Yeah, they're all just as good at grinding through units as any other. And I think the idea is, you know, kind of have that one really tough unit that is your token to keep playing in the game, you know, as opposed to some other games where you, you know, it might be not all or nothing like this. You know, it really informs the nature of Stronghold gameplay to have, you know, this one powerful unit that you have to protect at all costs.
Right.
And,
sort of like chess.
Yes, exactly.
Did you want to say anything about Stronghold Next? The codenamed future, the next game?
Yeah. So far, I don't have too much to report apart from the fact that it's very much in the planning stages, and we haven't put any pedal to the metal yet in terms of actually implementing. But we are definitely kicking around a lot of ideas. And the main things that we do know 100% are it's not going to be a free-to-play game. It's going to be a PC game available on Steam and Galaxy. And we're basically just listening to see what fans are most interested in terms of you know, what directions they'd like to see us take the franchise at this point.
So where should they go to give you some feedback on that?
Certainly all of our forums, like at Firefly Studios, and we have some kind of sub-topics that have opened up on various forums on Steam, and I'm sure on GOG. And we'll be happy to talk about it there. And we're certainly looking at those and listening to what people are interested in. And the same thing with our current games. We do read those forums. We get a lot of really good information on them, on what people are thinking and especially what our expert and most passionate players are asking for. Because they don't always, you know, we don't always find out directly except what people might be asking for or discussing. And so it's extremely valuable to us because we really like to know what we're doing that people enjoy the most, and where we could direct our future efforts to try and give them something they really want.
Right, because I'm sure you have things that you enjoy a lot, but that might not line up all the time with what other people might want, and it's always good to get some extra feedback.
Yeah, we certainly have our ideas of the game as people who played them to death, but it's really fascinating to see what other people who may be amateurs or maybe new to RTSs think, and also what our most seasoned veterans who played the game way more than even we have, what they think of a given decision or things we've done in the games. Because given unlimited resources, we'd love to make it appeal to everybody on all those levels, and we certainly do our best to address anything that's in our capacity to do.
Alright, I think this guy, the Shah, is about to die, finally. So what I think we're going to do after this game is I'm going to move over to the Sandbox. We'll try to build a big, pretty castle. And then, there we go. And then we will, and then we'll have it try to get invaded, I think, next. Tony, was there anything else you wanted to talk about today? Any other gaming news you want to bring up or anything like that?
Not offhand. We're very happy to have had all this extra time to do big improvements to Crusader 2 since our initial Steam launch last year, and we've done tons and tons of bug fixes, and we've been able to kind of soup to nuts look at the game and optimize a lot of different systems, like things that we got really deep in and really improved performance for slower machines. Faster machines probably haven't seen all that much of a gain because they were already running the game just fine, but we really wanted to make the game work as far back as possible. And I think I'm pretty happy with the improvements we've seen. We're still working on some stuff. Hopefully some of that will be up pretty soon. And I'm very happy that after all these expansions, we were able to see it on Galaxy's new platform, on GOG's new platform, Galaxy.
Excellent. Well, listen, thanks for stopping by today. I'm going to be taking a short break and then continuing with it, but I really appreciate you answering some of these questions and giving us some cool sort of behind-the-scenes information on game development.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you. All right, guys, we're going to take just a short 2-minute break while I set things up for the next game and refill my drink. And when we come back, we'll try to make a pretty castle. See you guys in just 2 minutes. Back. Bring up the screen again. There we go. All right, got a fresh glass of water here. So we're going to go in sandbox mode. We'll try to make something that looks awesome and then see how badly it gets beaten up. Open steppe, desert sand, small oasis. I don't know what kind of map we might want to do. Just empty desert? No, that's too dull. The Bridge of Dawn. Let's take the open steppe. First map on the list, we'll see how it goes. Now I can watch chat a little bit better.
The desert awaits you.
Desert awaits us.
Stockpile, my lord.
So with the stockpile is interesting because all your goods that you produce go through the stockpile over here, and it's going to be nice to have it close to both where you're going to produce goods, but also where you're going to process goods. I guess I'm going to put it, I don't know, over here. I like to leave a little bit of a gap there to make it easy to walk. Then there's the granary where all your food will be stored. Same sort of logic. You sort of ideally want it as close to all of your food buildings as possible, which I think might be a good idea for me to do something like place it a little bit here near the lush area. And yes, then there's the sandbox control panel where I can have people attack me, but we're not going to start that quite yet. I'm going to make sure we've got a few wood buildings over here near the trees. It's not particularly lush overall, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, just a little bit of wood building, or wood chopping, because it's a good way to get started. And I'm going to get a couple of apple orchards, sort of as close to the granary as possible. Maybe a couple of pig farms for some meat. There and there. And a couple of dairy farms for some cheese. Again, near the granary.
Workers available to run this building.
Alright, so we only have 8 beds. We only have enough beds or living space for 8 workers. So what we're going to have to do is get a hovel going so we've got more. It's interesting. The closer you are to your keep, the more people fit into the one hovel. Because usually you want to have your hovels like way out of the way. But there is something to be said about having it close to the keep. So I think what I'm going to do is pop it right out here. Now I'm just going to build one for now. And then we should consider what our walls might look like. Really, our granary and stockpile should be within our walls. So, if we did something like this, and then set up a gatehouse right there, that wouldn't be too bad, because then they can still get in and out over here to get to the granary. And also from here, they can go through here to get to the stockpile, which shouldn't involve too much extra walking, which will be okay. So that's going to be sort of the plan there. We're going to try to get this structure up and running relatively soon so that we don't accidentally build ourselves in the corner. Now, what other resources might we be able to find on the map? There's a bridge over here. That's interesting. We've got some... Is this pitch over here? Can't tell. I mean, oh, it is iron. Okay, I was going to say, it's sort of irony color, right? That rusty color from iron. So, it would be nice to mine some of our own iron, which we mostly use for weapons. Is there a stone quarry anywhere? Maybe up here? Up on this ridge? Yeah, this is a stone quarry. We're definitely going to want some of that if we want to be able to build the bigger castles. So, I'm going to go ahead and get...
Not enough workers available to run this building.
4 of those. And we're going to need some ox tethers, but we don't have much in the way of wood right now. Actually, I may have overdone it slightly with that building, because I won't have enough wood for my hovel yet either. So we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. As a chat. Premetin, one of the reasons the game has so many DLCs already is because the game has been out for a while. It's just new to GOG Galaxy. So it's got the advantage of having already been sort of patched and developed and rebalanced a whole bunch since release, and then having extra content. This is not the sort of game where the DLC is like, you need it day one to properly enjoy the game at all. It's just sort of more extra stuff for more fun. Go ahead.
Needed, me lord.
Really? Oh, yeah. So I can build a small hut. Again, depending on how close it is, you get different sizes, but that also have different material requirements. Okay, another house. Now we can have up to 20 people. So now all of our stuff should be worked. Now, one of the things that's interesting with these quarries is to get the stone from here back to your base, you've got to use some ox tethers to get that going. We can afford to wait a tiny bit if we want to use the material for something else. And I think I will hold out just a bit, because they will still chop stone. They will still work stone without the ox tether. You just won't be able to get a delivery back home. So I'm going to hold off just a wee bit so that I can get another house going on here. Just waiting for another wood delivery. We've got a couple of dudes here who are about to drop some off. The other thing I might want to do is get a market up and running a little bit sooner than usual. I don't have a ton of gold, though. We're making a little bit of gold in taxes. I can raise taxes if I want, but if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to offset the unhappiness by giving them bigger rations or alcohol or religious services, right? And that's a little bit beyond what I can do at this time. So we'll get another house, get some more people, because we still have some demand over here, because it actually takes a fair number of people to run each one of these stone quarries. But you can see the stone is starting to pile up, which I love. I like the little visuals there. Makes you feel like something is really happening. The whole little progress of, you know, bringing the stone up off the ground, putting it down here, chiseling it into blocks, and then it gets added to the little stockpile. Just lovely little thing. All right, let's go ahead and get at least one ox tether. Now, how many would we want to build? Well, it depends, because it takes a certain amount of time for the ox to finish its trip back home. Most likely for these 4 quarries, we're going to want more than 4 ox tethers, so that there's always another one getting filled up. We might want to do something like 6. That might work out okay.
Wood needed, me lord.
Wood needed, my lord. I like the voices in these games. Just lovely.
We need wood, sire.
Can't place that there.
Must build additional pylons. Alright. we'll just get started with the 4 ox tethers, and then if we start to see that there's a backlog of stone, then we will build some more. I suspect we'll need more. There are a lot of stone quarries here too. We can end up getting a lot of rock real fast. Okay, so there's that. We do have our basic food industry. It looks like our food may be going down. Really what we want to do to get consistent food income is get wheat farming off the ground. Wheat farming gives you the most bang for your buck food-wise. You need to invest a bit more because you need the wheat farms, then you need a mill to grind the wheat into flour, then you need bakeries to turn the flour into bread. But fewer people will feed more people in total by working that production chain than working all the other little steps for apple and pig and dairy. These are easy because they don't need any further processing, which is nice, but they don't produce food as quickly, effectively. They're also nice to always have because more food variety you have, the happier your people get. So if we look at our food over here, you can see where they're on normal rations, which gives them a certain base happiness, and there's 3 different types of food being eaten, which gives them the 9 happy. So I could bump this up. I could say, hey, we're having bigger rations, and then they'll get more happy out of it, but I don't think we can actually afford that right now. We're sort of balanced on food. Man, it's going up a little bit now. I don't know. It's going to depend on our total population, obviously. So I don't want to grow the population yet. I mostly am going to want to wait until I've got a little bit more wood. We're going to need 200 for the mill, which is a big thing. We could probably... How many idlers do we have over here? Looks like we have 4 peasants just sitting around doing nothing. I think it's probably a good idea if we go ahead and invest in a couple of wood camps. I think they only need 1 each. There we go. So we get wood in a little bit more consistently, a little bit more rapidly. I don't remember. Can you set up a hunt camp? Because there's animals around. I thought you could hunt them somehow. I don't know. I like sandbox mode. Much more relaxed. Bum 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 bum. Mr. Primal, yes, this game has multiplayer. Has online multiplayer. Which I think I would be too stressed to ever try any competitive multiplayer in this game. But I love the idea of co-op multiplayer or the sort of two-headed giant sort of thing where you're both controlling the same base. That could be a lot of fun too. So one person might control just the military. And that gives you a lot of opportunity to really micromanage your troops to an extra degree while someone else is worried about expanding your economy all the time, which I think would be rather swell. Alright, to speed things along, I will build a market. I don't think the market really needs to be within our city, so I'm going to pop it right out here by our little hovels. So the market, you can sell goods, right? Like right now, I don't really need stone. So I could sell some stone for some extra gold, and then I could buy some wood. One of the nice things about the market is you can tell it to automatically buy or sell items. So for example, if I ever have, say, less than 60 wood, if I can get there, buy wood for me. And then if I ever end up with, say, more than 500 wood, start selling it. Actually, even that's a little crazy. 300 wood, start selling it. Same thing with the stone. Maybe we'll auto-buy if we get too low. Just so we can keep sort of building. And if we ever get above 450 units of stone, we'll sell that. Iron, same thing. And same thing. That way we can keep producing goods no matter what happens. And do the same thing with food. Most likely I will do that in case we end up with an overflow of things, and you can keep making a little bit of cash. So what I'm going to do directly right now is go and get my wood up. Sounds a bit suggestive. We will buy... I'm going to spend like all my gold on wood. There we go. Most of it anyway. So what we can do is we can start our wheat farm. I'm going to get 2 of these. And then a mill. I'll have to buy a little bit more wood for that. There we go, just over 200. Don't really need to rush the mill necessarily. Because the mill can't do anything until we've got wheat anyway. And to get the mill to be worked anyway, we'd need extra houses because we are literally 0 extra population. So we'll wait a tick, let that go up, and then we'll be ready to build our mill and some houses. I like it. Yeah, the auto buy, auto sell is great. More games need that. It always astounds me when you get sort of a trading oriented game and you can't just tell it, listen, keep my amount of thing between X and Y, buying and selling as necessary. You got to be careful because sometimes you can find yourself just suddenly going broke if you're building and you're not really paying attention to the fact that you're just buying all this stuff over and over. But usually you're okay. All right, so we'll get another house. Since these are small, let's get them a little further away. They might get destroyed, but that's all right. So we'll have a handful more people. There we go. Let's build one more, and then let's build a mill. And I'll put the mill basically right next to the granary, because wheat, I think wheat will get delivered here. It's possible wheat will get delivered at the stockpile. And then the flour, actually, if the wheat and the flour both go to the stockpile, then the windmill should go here. What are you carrying? Wheat farmer. That's exactly what's going on. The wheat just got brought here. We have a lot of stone. And we are selling it, right? At 450. Okay, we do need a lot of stone for things. Like crazy amounts. I guess we may as well start using it. Let's just stretch out to about there. Then put a nice big grand tower over here. And then stretch out the wall this way. And then, yeah, we're officially out of stone. We'll have to build some stairs here, too. I believe our people can come in through the guardhouse and go up top. But it'll still be handy to have some extra stairs in a few little bits and places. So my idea is to enclose sort of an inner area here. And then we might end up putting in some more walls later on. But for now, that's going to be pretty good. I like that you can mount certain weapons on top of these things too. Oh yeah, you can see the flowers over here. So the flower will end up there. Well, if we end up building another mill, we'll build it right next to the stockpile. Not the end of the world. It's not that far of a walk, but could have been a little bit better. Do we have any flour yet? A wee bit. Okay, since we have a tiny bit of flour, I think it is fine for us to start our first bakery. Right there. So here, can go and grab the flour from here, process into bread, and then drop it off in the granary. And I like having the granary and the stockpile within my walls to try to keep them safe and less likely to get blown up. Yeah, Pharaoh has a trading feature. Pharaoh is a fantastic game. And Caesar as well. Caesar's a great one. I don't remember if it has a trading feature or not. It's been ages since I've played any of those games. But those are just wonderful, wonderful games. Alright. Our food supply has actually been decent even with what we've got. So mostly this is just going to add some extra variety. Now, I think this mill can easily support more wheat farms. So I'm going to go ahead and get another pair of wheat farms over here. I think it can very easily process that much. You can see it doesn't really have a big pile of wheat just sitting idle here all the time. Meanwhile, we're still getting in stone. It's probably a good idea for us to go ahead and set up our iron mine over here. I think we can fit 2. Indeed we can. And we'll want a couple of ox tethers. The other thing, see? I need more ox tethers over here. Look how much stone is just sitting around. And they're actually going to fill up their stockpile completely. So we're going to have to maybe double up on our ox tethers. We'll wait a second on that. There we go. If the stone stockpile were closer to town, then you wouldn't need as many ox tethers. But it actually wouldn't surprise me if we end up needing even more than this just to drain these quickly enough. We'll play by ear. Yeah, I love the fact that the Nile flooded on and off in Pharaoh. And then during the off season, all those people who weren't farming would instead work on your big pyramids and whatnot. I gotta play Pharaoh again. God. We did one, maybe 2 live streams for it. But we never got to like the really late game missions where you start building the insanely huge monuments, like proper pyramids. And that would be nice to see. Oh, add a stone. Now, we do have a backlog here, so it can be a little deceptive as to how many ox tethers we might need. But I'll build another couple anyway. I think they'll see pretty heavy use. These are also very attackable, by the way. When we do finally get some attackers, they can definitely jump on us over there. Which is not the most pleasant thing. I do have a live stream tomorrow, that is true. We could do some Pharaoh.
Not enough stone, sire. We need more stone, sire.
Must construct additional pylons. Wood's coming in. Yeah, we got a decent little pile of wood. Alright, how are we doing? Still don't have like a big, huge backlog of wheat. Which is alright. I think 4 wheat farms to 1 mill might actually be a bit of a magical number. We'll see. Flour's starting to stockpile up a little bit, so let's get another bakery over here.
Not enough workers available to run this building.
And apparently we need another house. Here, another couple over there. Let's increase our tax rate, since people are so damn happy right now. Because we'll still have a net positive happiness going on.
Sentiment is warm towards you,
So people will still come. If your people become unhappy, then people will start to leave, which is not good. But I think we'll be able to stay relatively well balanced over here. And yeah, part of it is going to be the fact we've got good food variety. We've got 4 types of food. That's a big boost to happiness. Can you get any more? No, but we can start making booze soon. Still, let's finish our castle. Not that we have anyone who can defend the castle. But let's just ignore that for now. I'm sure that won't cause any problems whatsoever.
Stone stock's too low, my lord. We need more stone, sire.
Metal Addict says, people are too happy. Increase their taxes. Quill, you're the perfect politician. If you think that's something, you should go to my channel and watch me play The Political Machine 2016. I have just completed a run as Donald Trump, and you really shouldn't miss that one, I think. I wish I were better at impressions, because I think that would make those videos even better. Here, tell you what, let me finish the box first before I go and build the tower. There we go. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, so we need some more stone deliveries, but they are coming pretty quickly. I think this might be enough to start dealing with this backlog. How are we doing over here? A few extra bars. It's a bit of a trip. You know what? I think we are going to want an extra couple of tethers over here to make sure our steel keeps coming in quickly enough. Alright, food is good and seems to be growing. And I suspect we may even end up building some extra bakeries soon. I'm not sure what the ratio of bakeries to mills, nor wheat farms to mills is. I actually have a lot of wheat just sitting around over here. Or flour, I should say.
This building is currently functioning, my lord.
I think we can probably afford at least one more bakery. Anyway, after that, I'm going to start building my military stuff. Could probably start on that now. We need an armory first to actually store our goods. I think I might get my military production to be just outside the walls. Again, mostly, we have limited amounts of space in our walls. There you go. So that's the armory. That's where the weapons will get stored. And I'm going to slowly start to build some of these guys up. So we'll get an armorer's workshop, Fletcher's workshop. So that's armor. A lot of different unit types need armor. So you may end up building a lot more armor stuff than you intend. And then, say, blacksmith shop for swords. We'll just start that off as a base. We get armor, we get arrows, we get swords, so we can get armored swordsmen and unarmored archers, perhaps. I hope the fact that by putting up against the wall, it removed some of this, what do you call it, crenellation? Hope that doesn't affect my defenses. I have no idea. How much stone do I have? Oh, almost enough for the guard tower. There we go. I can still fit one in here properly. Yeah. Good. Or grand tower, I should say. Are there no rounded towers? Because that used to be one of the decisions you'd have to make. Rounded towers were a lot more expensive and time-consuming to build than square ones, but rounded towers are inherently stronger because they don't have a corner, which is a weak spot. So I don't know. Nice, chill, relaxed game. I love it. Now, if we add in a barracks... did I just muck that up? I'm concerned that that is not good. There we go. That's more like it. I didn't want to cut up the wall. I think the stairs might have screwed something up. Okay, so now that I have a barracks, I can start to train troops. So I'm going to set a rally point here on the roof of one of these towers, and I'm going to just start making some archers. And basically, I'm going to try to get archers on top of every single one of my roofs. Right now, the delay here is because I have a limited number of peasants sitting around. I capped out at 3, so they'll come in again, and then I'll recruit them.
Recruits needed, sire.
And then we just have to keep waiting for more peasants to come in. So I'm going to try to get a good number of archers on top of both towers. And I think I'll start an attack then, even though we don't have the rest of the towers done yet or anything like that. I mean, honestly, just having the walls is going to be 99% of the battle for wild animals, which is going to be the first one. Now, hopefully they'll go straight to the castle. I suppose if they go somewhere else, I'll be a little bit screwed unless I get some melee troops, which I guess would be a good idea. Apparently the game starts you off with some maces, so that's good to know. So I could build some macemen, which actually might be a good thing. If I'm planning on attacking myself with the wild animals, maybe some faster moving units are the way to go. Tell you what, change the rally point to be on the roof of this thing.
What?
Alright. Lions! Oh, we can turn on random events as well. Oh! I didn't... Apparently I give myself some money. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Launch attack.
Lions have been seen near the castle, my lord.
Where are they coming in from? From the north. Oh, that's a lot of lions! Oh, that is a lot of lions.
Need some heads crushing. We'll take care of it.
Yeah. Oops, that's not the one I want.
Peasants needed,
Rangers
sire.
are interesting because they get swords as well as bows,
What are your orders, sire?
which gives them a little bit more flexibility. But that's not what I was looking for right now. To just sort of
Where's the fight?
man this.
Rangers ready, sir.
Apparently, I built some
What?
rangers before too.
We're moving.
We are your men. Archers, moving.
All right, where are the lions? Oh! Oh, they're coming in the other side!
We are under attack.
Alright, we've got good range here because of our height. So that's good. I need more bow production.
Lions are running wild in the castle.
I like archers. And we need more people, because they're being butchered.
At your service. Mark your targets.
I think we might be losing a few too many people here, guys. Whoa. I'm just hoping lions can't, you know, climb castle walls or destroy them.
Where's the fight? We'll kill anything that moves.
Oh, my peasants!
Need some heads crushing.
I think these macemen are about to get hurt real bad. That's okay, I didn't need those peasants anyway. They didn't work hard enough. Alright, I can't build that tower there. Because of the granary, actually. Screwed that up. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. Can I build like a skinny little tower here? Okay, these lines are lasting forever. Oh my god. They're special, like, adamantine lions is what's going on here.
This building is currently functioning, my lord.
Woman, on
Okay.
the move.
Sounds like that's the end of them.
Look sharp. Let's go, boys.
So now we have to wait until more peasants slowly trickle into our thing to repopulate all our buildings. Actually, it looks like that's already happened. Our happiness is positive, so people are still coming to our empire. And it looks like we've been able to muddle through that not too badly. Alright, good. So we're going to keep building up the military. The next time we'll get a proper sort of siege coming at us. Metal coming in there. I think we actually need more oxen over here. And we could definitely use a lot more over here too. It's just such a long walk. There you go. Food is going up nicely though. How's the stockpile looking? So the amount of flour isn't like skyrocketing at an uncontrollable rate. So that's really, really good to see. Although, we do have a lot of flour just sitting around here at the mill. So I think that's a sign that we can easily support yet one more baker, at least. Yeah. Happiness is still positive. Good. I think what we'll do is we'll actually expand our housing a wee bit. Bigger pool of people sitting around. It'll make it easier to recruit our military. Plus, I think these guys will still pay taxes even if they don't have a job. We also have to feed them, which is the downside. Stupid peasants demanding, like, food and stuff? What's up with that? Fair bit more steel on the map. We could go and try to harvest it. I'm a little leery about doing that. Just because I suspect we might get attacked there in the future. We've got that on auto buy to make sure we've already got a little bit. Let me auto buy if ever we drop below, say 20. I don't know how much we need for various productions, but that'll be okay. And armor I will auto sell if it gets above 25. So I don't need a huge pile of it sitting around doing nothing if we're overproducing armor, although I suspect that won't really last. Let's get some regular archers. Let's build our first Sergeant at Arms. Sergeant at Arms, there we go, give a buff to nearby units. Now, I don't know if that's only melee units, or if it also affects ranged. No, other troops doubles their armor. Which may not be terribly relevant with the archers, but still.
Easy, man.
I'm going to go ahead and put one Sergeant at Arms on top of every tower over here.
March with the flag. Battle awaits.
They are pretty expensive to train. I mean, they need one armor and one pike, which isn't that much, but it's 150 gold, as opposed to an archer, which is 12 gold, plus a bow. Gonna get a swordman corps. I think all my macemen are dead. Yeah. A little corps of swords.
We will fight with courage.
We'll put you on top of the keep to defend our king, just in case. More resources coming in. Oh.
Sire,
Handful more dudes.
us. Swordsman, forward!
Alright, you don't have to yell all the time.
Peasants needed, sire.
Let's get a bunch of crossbows. Crossbows are interesting. They don't have the same range or firing rate as archers, but they do have more armor penetration, I believe. Shorter range. Yep, deadly bolts can easily penetrate metal armor.
Jump to it.
I'm gonna go ahead and put them on the gatehouse over here. Alright, let's get another attack coming in. See what we can do. So, I don't know what these are. Call to Arms, Rats Army, Unsullied. Morning Stars, Dance in the Shade, Vive la Resolution, Re-Ride. Silent Hunters, probably Assassins coming in. Let's say the Rats Army. Now, I don't get to choose a size. In in Stronghold Crusader 1, you can choose, I think instead of these, like, themed attacks, and a difficulty setting, I think you just, like, say, spawn 100 of these things, or whatever. I think this is kind of maybe more interesting. Alright, the Rats Army.
Woodsmen have seen a large enemy force heading this way, sire.
Alright, hopefully not too many siegers. Might wreck some buildings.
Your loyal archers. Yes, sire?
March with the flag.
Weapons needed, sire?
Oh, no, they set up a siege camp. Alright. Swordsman,
Swords are yours.
come out over there.
Just give us the target. We're ready. Woman, string up. Need some heads crushing.
Maceman, go out there as well.
Gain the walls.
We are under attack.
I mean, we should be able to kill these pretty easily with just massive amounts of ranged fire. We'll take some casualties, but that won't be too bad. The question is, once they get their siege units in range, what happens then?
We are your men.
I think they're smashing my walls right now.
We will fight with courage.
Alright. Melee it up.
All that pass.
Charge! Before they smash down my walls.
Waiting for orders. Once more, we march.
And yeah, let's get a couple of stables, so we'll be able to have mounted units next time. Oh!
Ready, sir. Into battle.
How says my lord?
Alright, let's go.
God protect us. New orders, sire.
Yeah, go and take out the catapults. Hey, you can get conscripts. It's 4 golds, you get a generic dude with a club. Men-at-Arms is basically the same thing, but you give him a spear. Like, just a peasant with a spear, basically. But it can work.
Moving out.
Oh, and the enemy lord is actually here.
Men to arms.
Alright, we did take out the sea. Oh, I should probably
I'll serve thee well.
take out the siege camp itself. Make
We'll
sure they
take
can't
care
spawn
of it.
anything else. Oh no!
Too close to the enemy for them.
Orders, sir.
Actually, I'm not sure that you guys can see everyone who's actually attacking over there. I just realized.
You have need of us. Kill all that pass.
Oh, they're storming the castle!
Weapons needed, sire?
Bunch of conscripts, go.
Needed, sire?
Our swords are yours. Kill all that pass. Best foot forward.
Sir.
Men to arms. Kill all that pass.
Alright,
Use
you're
your
taking care of
blades,
that. Good.
lads.
You guys, actually come back over this way.
Swordsman. Forward.
Alright, some amount of damage. What time is it? Like, his lord is again going to be sort of unkillable. I should send my lord in after him. Because at least my lord has archer support, so that's got to balance out, right?
Immediately, sir. Attack at will, sir.
Quickly.
Rally to the Lord. He is under attack.
For his lordship.
Lordship. Right.
There we go. Woo! Alright, let's get the entire army
Ready.
out here so I can reorganize. Except for my lord. You stay up there. Repair these walls. Rebuild a grand tower. That's all sealed in? Yeah, good. Alright, well, that could have gone worse. Could have gone a lot better, but it could have gone worse. Let's get some Hable launchers on here. How do I do that? Oh, just... thought I could add it to the tower. Can I not? It exists as its own thing? Does it have stairs to get up there? I have no idea. Never used this before.
Not enough wood, my lord.
Well,
We need wood, sire. Not enough wood, my lord.
and there's some unhappiness as well. Let's go ahead and drop the taxes. So our population can actually rise again. Need my population to rise and give me wood.
Just give us the target. Get up on those walls.
Ready.
Shoulder weapons. Battle order.
Bowman, string up.
Okay. And yeah, we want, like, more bowmen. Although we do need a fast-running corps to go and take out siege equipment.
Your mark, sire. We move.
Attention. March with the flag.
So we don't have any mace production. So we should probably get a little bit of that going on. Because I like my macemen. Get a couple of those. And then some
Ready for your
dudes in
command.
this. Sergeant at Arms aren't mountable. I guess it's just the Templars.
Yes, sire.
Ready.
Because I have horses. Yep,
Our
yep.
bows shall sing.
So if I start producing Templar Knights, which need the maces, they can be mounted. Alright.
We are prepared. The men are in good spirits.
So does this auto-fire? I guess I can tell you to fire somewhere. I wonder if you'd auto-fire as well.
You need something? Bowman, make ready.
Alright. We got our defenses back up. We're gonna have to get another massive attack soon, but not quite yet. Money's alright. Do we have an excess of any weapon that we could sell off? No, we're pretty balanced right now.
Men at arms ready.
On your command.
Alright, and I have with one dude over here
Ship.
who is responsible for smashing the siege
Your
camp.
command, sir.
We'll just send him back home.
Bowman, string up. Archers, moving.
Okay, well, we should be better defended than last time. I don't know if we have more archers. I think what I'd like to do, actually, is get a few more Fletcher's workshops. And maybe a crossbow one as well. I like crossbows. They do a lot of damage, especially against those heavily armored troops. Very valuable for that. Trying to get a few maces done soon. Alright. I think that's long enough. I think it's ready for us to be attacked again.
Our bows shall sing.
The other thing, if you have extra money, you can invest in quite a few mercs as well.
Yes, sire. Look sharp, lads.
Alright, let's see what another one is. The Unsullied! The Unsullied are attacking us.
Woodsmen have seen a large enemy force heading this way, sire.
Whoa! Cracking the whips! In front of torch throwers. So, there's going to be some fire. I think a lot of my buildings are actually going to be set on fire here.
Ready, sir.
Which is not necessarily the most pleasant. Get some Templar Knights.
Our bows shall sing. What troubles you, sire? To horse!
Mount up. There we go. Then right out here with the rest of the ground army. Alright, they're just chilling, they're prepping. Nope, there they go. I wonder if the whipping makes them move faster or what? I think these guys are about to get killed. Whoa. I didn't realize a bunch of my oxen got slaughtered over here. Is that like something you can repair or just come back after a while? I don't know. That's all going to get burnt down pretty soon now, though.
Peasants needed, sire.
My sword is yours. Advance.
This is going to be
Buildings
suicide
are
running in
aflame,
here.
My lord.
Ah!
We are under attack.
Run away. Run back. Run back.
Ready for your command.
Any fighting we're going to do is going to be
All
under
of us
cover
stand
of
back.
our
March
archers.
with the flag.
You are my liege, lord. Woman, string up. Woman, on the move.
Get on this wall.
We are on our way. Our bows shall sing. We go to battle. Archers moving.
Get on a
Into
horse.
the saddle.
Alright, here they come. Okay, just a small group for now. I mean, these guys should be pretty squishy, I think. The problem is when you've got, like, the entire freaking army put together. These taskmasters are pretty chubby. So, if I did go and build a merc camp, I actually should be able to hire those guys and figure out what they are. Slave driver. So, slave driver. Use motivational powers. Any slaves within his proximity gets triple armor bonus. Wow.
Buildings are aflame, my lord.
Yeah, I'd noticed, but I'm a little low on wells. I guess that might not be ideal. Probably get one within our
Not enough
base.
workers available to run this building.
Not enough housing. For some reason, all my house is burnt down.
We need wood, sire.
And people are upset about that.
Wood needed, my lord. We need wood, sire.
I think that's it for the attack, though. No, one more dude running on his own. Alright. Housing is now sufficient for our population. Let's go ahead and give it a little bit more of a boost as well. Okay, but we did survive the
Battle
attack.
awaits. Forward.
Move you in over here. Should I hire anyone? Healers? They're healer units?
أدويتنا جاهزة.
What do you do? Troops are positioned within the healing circle. Slowly regain their health over time. Oh, that's really handy. And yeah, you don't need peasants or equipment for those mercenaries. They do cost more to get going, but other than that, they're pretty quick. Well, we didn't actually take any damage here, so I guess the thing to do is to put in one more attack. Let's try, Dance in the Shade.
A small group of enemy soldiers are heading to our castle.
You say small. I don't really believe you, though. Just a bunch of archers? No, what are these guys? Swordsmen? I mean,
Just say the word.
these are not particularly
Faces
500-y.
ready. We're wasting time here. The men are in good spirits. Crossbows, forward!
Move everyone closer to the front. Okay, they're setting up for siege. Oh, they've got a lot of siege equipment coming. These are just things for, like, archery shields, right? Yeah, that's expensive. I don't have any money.
Attention. Yes, sire. Into battle.
Your grace,
So my range is here.
preparing. Eager to work.
And here.
Preparing.
Well, the fire is working.
How can we help? Preparing.
Ready, sir.
Alright. I'm gonna bypass these guys. Charge the catapults!
Take the flag.
That's why we have horses. Okay, you guys are slow. You guys can stay here.
To victory. Advance. Attack on sight.
Our fates are entwined.
Excellent. Now, you guys come back over here. They're smashing the walls, but I think they're going to get smashed in return. They should be getting shot over here. I think we should be able to survive this one just fine.
Your Grace, set us a task.
Can I do like flaming pitch or something on the walls? Is that a thing? Castle defense. There we go. Get an oil smelter. Release the hounds. Okay. Repair the walls. Very minimal damage, although we did lose a decent number of dudes.
Ready. March with the flag.
Including all our mounted
Strings
ones,
are
I think.
waxed. Archers moving.
We don't have enough money for more Templar Knights. Oh, we do have one over here.
Say the word.
Good.
Attention.
I'll serve thee well. Best foot forward.
Get in there and get healed. Alright, we've got time for another one. Some other crazy attack can come our way.
Ready.
Lisa gonna die? Power Rangers, we ride. Pimp my wagon. Oh, that's gonna be good. They're gonna have the battering ram wagons coming in here. That'll probably finish us off.
A small group of enemy soldiers are heading to our castle.
Yeah, you keep saying small. Maybe we have different definitions of that.
Weapons needed, sire?
Yes, sire.
Where are they coming in from? I missed the blip. Okay. Southwest.
Look sharp, lads. Our strings are waxed. Our bows shall sing. Archers moving.
The mace boys roll.
Tunnel snakes rule.
Move out.
A bunch of conscripts.
You do not have enough gold to train this unit.
Men, to arms.
Well, we set up the oil smelter, but we don't actually have the
Keep
oil
your helmet
defenses.
on, Squire.
So I didn't finish it. Actually, we just need more pitches, or more pitch in storage. All right, what you got for me? Oh, this stuff is full of people. This is not what I expected. I was expecting the battering ram thingamabobs.
What's the plan? Preparing. My lord. Preparing.
Ready, sir. Walk easy, man.
All right, we actually don't need our people outside as
We
much.
have our orders.
We're gonna want them to survive long enough to take out anyone who's right up against the wall later on.
Rally to the Lord. He is under attack.
Yes, sire.
Lord's under attack? Am I really being hit by arrows over there? Uh-oh.
How can we help?
We are under attack.
Uh-oh.
We are your men.
Sire, command us. Kill all that pass.
This might be the end of it. These archers in the wagons are apparently death machines. I can't touch them, and they're killing all my stuff.
Weapons needed, sire?
Woman, get ready. We are your men.
Uh-oh.
The men are in good
Yeah, they're definitely hitting my lord. Look at this. Well, my lord can tank a fair amount of damage, so I'll have him do that.
You have need of us.
Like, look, my archers up here. They're just being destroyed. There's a critical mass of stuff going on here. Uh-oh.
Attention.
Alright, you guys gotta go back in there and draw some arrow fire.
Peasants needed, sire. The enemy has breached the castle walls.
Lordship? Yeah.
Look at
Victory awaits us.
Templar is pretty damn tough. I should have remounted him, actually.
The enemy are on the peak.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! GG, guys.
Our swords are yours. We'll all attack. Your mark, sire.
Victory will be ours. Reposition
Defend the Lord. Defend the King.
Needs one more place. Rally to the Lord. He is under attack.
This is the end, my friends. This is a little too much.
The Lord has been killed.
I was actually surprised that we survived the other, like, 2 or 3 attacks that we spawned. And actually, equally surprised that this one was able to finish me off, considering they had no siege weapons. But those wagons, insanity! So that's the sandbox mode. And yeah, there are a lot of missions, as I indicated, right? First of all, there's like all these skirmish trails, and then there's the DLC version of those skirmish trails as well, which have a little bit of extra sort of characteristics and flavor. There's that, yeah, that learning campaign, which is what I think we played last time. You can see that some of it is unlocked over here. Yeah, I completed all the preparation steps, and I was working on the Lionheart step. This one here, for example, I think is the one.
Richard pushes hard towards Antioch.
I think it's the one where we're just walking with units and we'd have to attack a castle.
Strategic of King Richard to leave us to deal with the ambush while taking his knights ahead with him.
Oh, perhaps not.
You better prepare quickly, sire. There is stone and iron here, at least.
But yeah, so you get these stories, you get an existing castle, which looks really impressive, and it starts to be a lot of fun to do these story missions here. We don't have enough time to do one, but like, look, there's a lot of stuff here. Just have to basically wait for peasants to come in and start working the sites once more, which is going to be good. We've got a little bit of money, but not much.
Where's the fight?
And we do have a bit of a military, and apparently we're going to get attacked soon. Okay, huge elevation. This place is amazing. Lots of little bottlenecks. We're going to have to, like, run our units around pretty aggressively non-stop.
Action stations.
Probably, I don't know, do we leave the units where they
Just
are?
give us the
Or do we group
target.
them together? If nothing else, they
Woman,
should spend...
String up.
This place is a warren of paths up onto the high ground, my lord. We can't possibly hope to defend them all.
Well, we'll try.
Action stations, lads.
I suppose we can build another tower. Sort of on this side? No?
Stone needed.
Oh,
my
not enough
lord.
stone.
That
Alright.
small oasis is the only one for miles around, my lord. And it will be hard to protect our farmers should attacks come that way.
That is very true. And I don't think I'm allowed to build out there. Oh, maybe I am.
Can't place that there, my lord.
Oh, no, I can't. Nor there. I can build up to here. I could build a little tower, like up on this edge here, assuming I had a little bit more stone that would overlook it. That would be a good place to put archers. Plus, I mean, I could just take some of my archers, or some of my crossbows, for example, and put them on this ridge, which would be a good way to defend that. We'll see what the first ambush will look like. Alright, lots of people have come in now, not that many jobs. We can get more steel.
Can't place that there, my
Get
lord.
more of that. Do we have a stone quarry? I don't feel like I do. We'll probably have to buy it from the market. Oh, there's a stone quarry. And then we don't have enough wood.
Nervous, sire. We are Saladin soldiers.
Is there no market? I can't use a market here. That's interesting. Yeah, give me more wood going in over there. Yeah, where are Saladin soldiers?
Action stations, we're ready. Your Highness, got some trouble? Move your
Get
sons
some more
and
people
dogs.
sort of hanging out over here. So we have some wood production. Do we have... Where's our barracks on this? It's right over here.
Scouts have seen the enemy. They are coming, my liege.
Weapons needed, sire?
There they are.
We're ready. Just get us into battle. The mace boys roll.
Crossbows, forward!
We're ready.
Alright, engage. Alright, first attack, no problem.
We are under attack.
Look lively.
More crossbows over there. Let's get some Fletchers going here. Alright, stone is slowly coming in, but I just spent my wood on the Fletcher's things, which are going to continuously use wood. But we do have more wood production as well, so that's not so bad.
The mace boys roll.
Reinforcements?
Shot.
Nice! Let's get some more people up on this hill.
Have arrived at the castle, sire.
I like this story mode.
Check those weapons. Battle order.
Do I have... I still don't have much in the way of wood. I wait for these shipments to very slowly make their way in here. And yeah, it's going to be really important that these things don't get destroyed. Really, really important.
Lively does it. Let's go.
Mace is ready. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They have a song. Barely.
The enemy are attacking.
There's some dudes there and some dudes here.
The mace boys roll.
Maybe I should just park all my melee units in the middle of this. Now I'm hoping
Those weapons.
that we can shoot from here.
Buildings are aflame, my lord.
And we can.
Your Highness.
That's a lot of fire. Luckily, we stored up enough wood to rebuild our wood industry, if nothing else.
Shoulder weapons. Inaccessible, sire. Inaccessible, sire.
Alright, so some of these guys just aren't going to be able to fire.
Check those weapons. Quickly. Moving off. At the double.
We are almost complete.
Stuff's burning, yo!
Wood needed, your lordship.
Uh-oh. So I need to have enough wood to build a wood camp.
We're ready.
It's just, it is one of those things where you can screw yourself. Let's get another wood camp. Why on earth would you keep sending your units into the fire? Because I can! Why else? How bad can fire be?
The mace boys roll.
Here they come again, my lord.
Again? Well, I mean, if people are so dumb as to put their
Mace is
farms
ready.
in somewhere where I can't protect you from
Two stations.
attackers,
Forward.
then you deserve whatever happens to you.
Bowman.
That's just the way it is.
We are on our way.
Lively does it.
We'll take care of it.
Man the parapets.
Weapons.
I'm a very
needed,
uncaring
sire?
lord. We gotta go and take care of these siege weapons as soon as possible.
Yes, sire.
Unfortunately, all my melee melee guys were over
We
here.
are under attack.
Where the hell are you going?
We're moving.
Get in here.
Going down?
In particular,
Boys, roll.
well, Mace Boys, go and take care of the catapults, will you?
Ready, sir. Just to eat.
Oh lord, everything is terrible!
The enemy are getting closer, my lord.
Well, not really.
Your Highness. Smash them to bits.
Yeah, smash them to bits.
Right-o, my lord. Ooh, a command.
Ooh, a command.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, there's someone over here.
We're moving.
Not anymore, but...
Orders, sir. Moving, sir.
2 stations. Man the parapets.
Alright, repair. No! Not you. Well,
The granary is empty, sire.
yeah, that doesn't surprise me, since, you know, all of our food buildings got destroyed recently. I don't know if you were aware of that, but it's what happened. And there's more enemies
Needed,
coming.
your lordship.
And we don't have enough wood. So, I think we're all going to
sir.
starve to death, I'm just saying. This game kind of like an RTS version of the old game Castles 2. Yes! And if you want a less RTS-y version of it, what you have to do is just get Stronghold, which is the sort of the economic portion of it, emphasized more than the warfare portion of it, which is what you see here. More warfare in Crusader, the Crusader version of Stronghold. Which a lot of people find a lot more exciting. Me, I like building things, and obviously the combat not necessarily working out for me. But there you go. We Quill build apple. Yeah. Well, do the apples?
Almost out of food, sire.
Oh, the apples need less, but we're still not going to be. One apple orchard isn't going to do it for us. What we mostly have to do is like, because we're going to keep losing people, is turn off all buildings.
Needs one more person.
Except
This
restart the
building
wood.
has no labor, sire.
And that, a bear? Where's their bear? Also, where, you didn't warn me that there was a bunch more people coming.
The Mace Boys, roll.
So we're just going to lose all of our farming again.
Buildings are aflame, my lord.
Alright, I think we're going to wrap this up here. Because, we are not going to survive another 14 days. But I could definitely see how we could do this scenario and win it. And have it work out pretty well.
Yes,
now
sir.
that we get a better sense of that, how things are going to come, where people are going to pop out of, what we may have to do to reinforce this area. Although, again, we can't build buildings over there, which is a big problem.
The granary
Big problem.
is empty, sire.
The granary is empty. Everyone is leaving our little empire.
Attention. Men at arms on the walls.
I mean, I guess as long as we have an army, we don't need peasants.
Here we go.
Right?
Here we go. Here we go.
That is actually true. I don't think we start losing units just because we don't have food in the granary. I think it just means we no longer get peasants. Maybe at some point they leave completely, but other than that, I don't know about it. So we could theoretically just fortify the walls enough and just tank it out
Nice day,
on
Your
empty
Highness.
stomachs. We're not going to do that today. We are going to wrap this up. Thank you very much for coming out to today's stream, folks. I hope you you enjoyed the Stronghold Crusader 2. It is available, of course, at GOG.com. This is a updated and bug-fixed version, considerably changed, actually, since the original release of this game. And in particular, made to work with the GOG Galaxy, the client, the achievements, the multiplayer.
Is there no end of them, my lord?
Yeah, apparently not. Just that? Oh, and this. Okay. I was going to say, we'll probably get multi-pronged attacks coming in here.
My lord.
There's no way they're just going to have one person. Or one little tiny group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get going.
Yes, sir.
Reposition down here.
Moving out.
And you guys as well.
Battle order. ready, sir. Look lively.
We are under attack.
I wonder if you can fast forward in this game. There might be a way to increase the speed. It would be fun to just see it get destroyed, but we're gonna wrap it up. If you pay attention to the chat, we should see... There we go. I don't know what the next stream will be. Mubot is talking about Wildcard, but that's at noon Eastern on Friday, so that's not the next one. I don't know what's doing next. Oh, they're in the base. They ruined the walls. They're gonna run all over. Alright, that's it. Thank you very much for coming out, folks. See you next time. Bye-bye. You can always catch me at youtube.com/Quill18 and twitch.tv/Quill18. Tweet me at Quill18. All those good things. See you next time.